Hello, I'm Virginia Gray, Mayor of the town of Wendell. The cooler evening temperatures signal fall, and for Wendell that means the Harvest Festival. The free event takes place on Friday, October 6th and Saturday, October 7th in our downtown. To talk to us about this year's Harvest Festival, my special guest is Valerie Deloach. She's a member of the Wendell Chamber of Commerce Board. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the history behind the festival and how it got started in Wendell.
Well, Wendell has a very rich history in tobacco. And so back in 1907, we actually had the tobacco market open here in Wendell, and it was the first one in Wake County that was not located in the city of Raleigh. So people, hundreds of people would come in during those times on their carriages and everything with their tobacco to sell at opening day. And if you think about it, it's pretty interesting because that was they were poor, so this was the one day that they actually had money to spend. So it became like a carnival atmosphere. Every year, more people would come and they'd have things for them to buy and do. And so it has evolved over time from celebrating the history of tobacco to what we have today as the celebration of the Harvest Festival.
During these earlier festivities, what kinds of things did they do?
Well, they did a lot of, some of the things that we do now, the
Right.
parades, there was dancing, which we don't really do that now, I guess, except Saturday nights. But they had car shows. There were the agricultural machine shows. They would have I think we had a pig picking cookout but the interesting thing from back in the old days when it was the focus was really on tobacco. They would have tobacco tying contests and tobacco spitting contests, if you can imagine us doing that now. But even in the parades, they would have the ladies on the floats would carry bouquets made of tobacco leaves.
Oh, okay. When and how did the Saturday evening music portion of the festival become part of the festival?
Well, Frances Henderson actually was the festival leader for over a decade. And at one time, her father, who was a local tobacconist, brought in a man by the name of Homer Briarhopper, who was from the Grand Ole Opry history, but he performed one year, and after that it became an integral part of the Harvest Festival. We've had plenty of different people over the years who have who performed, but really beach music seems to have a special place here. Maybe it's because it too is locally grown in North Carolina, but we are lucky enough to have the Embers this year. They have performed so many times at the Harvest Festival, can't even keep count.
They have.
And so we are looking forward to them on that Saturday night at 7 p.m.
Tell me some specifics about what's going to happen on Friday this year. Friday during the day and then into the evening. Okay,
well, we kick everything off at 5 p.m. on Friday. We're going to have over 120 vendors, so there's a lot to see and do. The beer garden's going to be open from 5 to 10 p.m. and that's cash only. So if anybody's thinking about going to the beer garden, they must have cash. But we also have, in addition to all of that, in the food trucks, we have at 7:30 on Friday night is the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The movie's going to be in the town square. So that'll be a fun family event.
Well, now we've talked about Friday, let's talk about Saturday. What's going to happen on Saturday? That's a longer day.
Yes, we have a full day planned. Everything's going to open up. The 120 vendors again will open at 9 a.m. 10 a.m. we have the parade, and I'm really excited about the parade because we've got some great people, some bands, different groups. We're really hoping to have the streets lined up with people, so that we have lots of people cheering it on. We have lots of things going on, various things throughout the day on the stage. Actually, at 2 p.m. there's going to be a duck calling contest on the stage.
Okay.
So you have to sign up for that at the booth for, I think it's called Quacks and Racks, by 1 p.m. But we have the Pumpkin Derby is going to take place at 2 o'clock, and the tractor pull for the kids is at 4. We've got lots of stuff going on, but then, of course, it ends with the 7 p.m.
With the Embers.
The Embers.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of food out there this year. Tell me a little bit about the food and the vendors that people can expect to see.
Well, you've got to kind of think of it as fair-like food. So we do have quite a bit of cotton candy and funnel cakes and kettle corn and things like that. But really, people could come out and eat every meal because we've got all kinds of great foods as far as barbecues and burgers and ribs and
tremendous
empanadas.
variety.
Yep. And my favorite, I'm excited, there's a Cuban sandwich that they're going to have at one of the food trucks. But we have 15 different food trucks, so there's so much to choose from.
Tell me about the Little Miss and Little Mr. Paget that's going to take place this year. I believe this is the third year in a row that we've had it. It's kind of a new thing, but third year in a row.
It's been a great addition because it's not what people think of as being a beauty pageant or a talent show or anything.
Right.
This is basically a fundraising competition.
Right.
It's for children between the ages of 6 and 10. Essentially up until September 30th, they raise funds for the food pantries, the local food pantries. And whoever raises the most money, they are crowned the Little Miss or Little Mr. Wendell. They get, crowned on stage. They get to ride in the parade. So it's fun for them too. But more importantly, it's just such a good cause. And so I'm really hoping that we get some more people who will maybe jump in over the next week and decide to be a part of it. Because what we do is with all of the funds, we will separate it between the 4 food pantries that we have here in Wendell.
I know in past years we've really made a lot. They've made a lot of money, and it's important.
Well, it's at a time of year when the food pantries really need it.
They need it. Tell me about the activities specifically designed for kids at the Harvest Festival.
Okay, well, I mentioned the Pumpkin Derby already, but that is a great, this is going to be fun because I can't even really imagine it because I have not seen it.
It is the cutest thing in the world to watch.
Okay,
it's one of my favorite
because you do
things.
the pumpkin and race them.
And they're very into it.
Yep, and so there are lots of rules and regulations apparently that they can find at wendellchamber.com under the Harvest Festival tab. But that's at 2 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock is the tractor pull, the kids' tractor pull.
Yep,
and both of those are taking place right up at the street near the railroad tracks. By Rich's Gym. And so that'll be fun. But there are tons of rides for the kids. There are inflatables. We're going to have some, guests walking around that they'll get to see, and crafts that they can look at. I mean, there's just going to be so much for kids of all ages. So.
Last year, Hurricane Matthew caused the Chamber to have to move the date of the festival into November. What are y'all doing this year to prepare for inclement weather?
Well, God willing, we will not have to worry about that, but we have planned ahead. So if indeed we do have bad weather, we will be doing what we did last year and moving it to the first weekend of November.
Well, Valerie, thank you so much for being my guest today. We're so lucky to have you to be willing to serve on the board at the Chamber and also on a citizen board for the town of Wendell, and it's people like you that make us able to do the things that we can do.
Well, thank you so much. I love it.
I want to thank the Wendell General Store on downtown Wendell for allowing us to film here today. They're located on Main Street. Come check them out. Now here's a look at some of the events coming up in Wendell. Right now, nominations are being accepted for the annual Mayor's Award in Wendell. You can nominate someone who makes the town a better place to live and work and raise a family by logging on to our town's website, www.townofwendell.com. Nominations are due by Friday, October 13th. The Wendell Historical Society's free upcoming program centers around a store that stood in the town for more than 50 years. On Thursday, October 19th, a local toy collector will talk about how Miss Hunter's dime store inspired his love for collecting. The program starts at 7 that night at Covenant Presbyterian Church in Wendell. Ready for a spooktacular Halloween event? Head to the Wendell Park on Friday, October 27th from 5 until 8. Kids 12 and younger can participate in the annual trick-or-treat trail. There will be hay rides and, of course, treats handed out during the event. It's a free event and an adult must accompany children. I want to thank Valerie of the Wendell Chamber of Commerce again for being with me today, and the Wendell General Store for allowing us to film in their location. I hope to see you at the Harvest Festival. Thank you for watching.